As the ground shook for a minute straight, the terror set in. Buildings left crumpled and flattened across Mandalay in central Myanmar, so close to the epicenter, at the heart of the country, long cut off from the world. The 7.7 magnitude earthquake quickly followed by aftershocks nearly as strong, leaving cracks in concrete roads and demolishing bridges. The injured and desperate rushed to hospitals, so unstable from the shaking, hundreds had to be treated outside. I thought my house would collapse on me. A wooden cabinet fell and clipped my head, this woman says. Information on the number of injured inside Myanmar was slow to trickle out, and still the death toll kept rising, with hospitals overwhelmed. The stone plates of our wall hit my daughter. There was blood everywhere, this woman says. The force of the quake so fierce it reached Bangkok and beyond, more than 1,000 kilometers away. A high-rise under construction collapsed in seconds. Everyone was running for their lives, this woman says. I was so scared and shocked. Rescue operations going deep into the night in a frantic search for survivors, with dozens trapped under the rubble. The entire city of Bangkok declared a disaster area, and there's an official state of emergency across 6 regions of Myanmar. The full extent of the damage is still unclear, but with an earthquake so shallow and powerful, the fear is that the loss of life is extensive and could reach higher than 1,000 people.
There will be a huge need for emergency assistance. About 3 million people were in the areas where the earthquake hit.
It's already prompted an extraordinary plea from Myanmar's military junta chief. Any country or foreign organization, anyone inside the country is invited to help, he says. An ask so rare for rulers used to strictly controlling access.
Now, Salima, you are outside the building that collapsed in Bangkok as rescue operations continue. What are officials saying there?
Well, we've just had an update, and what we do know is that out of the dozens and dozens of people trapped underneath that building collapsed, about 15 are still alive and are being monitored by rescue officials. But it is really difficult to get to them. They are a little bit further down, a couple of meters under all of that rubble, and rescue workers can't use heavy machinery yet. And so at this point, it's about monitoring those survivors and trying to find the best way to get them out safe and alive.
A tough scene there in Bangkok, and that is hundreds of kilometers from the epicenter in Myanmar. What can you tell us about the situation there?
Well, many are bracing for the worst as a rough picture of just how devastating this earthquake was and what destruction it left in its wake starts to emerge. And while many countries and organizations have quickly promised aid, that won't be easy. And that's because, of course, Myanmar is so very isolated and cut off from the world and very unstable in the midst of a civil war that has already left 20 million people without proper food or shelter. And so this disaster will, of course, make that humanitarian crisis gripping the country even worse.
Okay, thanks for this. Salima Shivji in Bangkok.